Hello friends, on the second day of the Mathrubhumi's International Festival of Letters, we have a special guest from Johannesburg. He is Peter Rich, our special guest from Johannesburg, urban planner and African architect who has been to Kerala 5 times before and is now as a special invitee for the Mathrubhumi's Literary Fest. Let's speak to him about his take on the Kerala architecture. You are an African architect who strive to give meaning for buildings. So what exactly are the tips that you would like to offer?
Well, they're just human lessons so that the buildings you design enable people from their culture to be able to have a good life. Okay, don't disenable.
Okay.
And enable them to have a good family life and a life that is in accordance with, because everybody's culture is slightly different. Yes. So you need to be respectful when you design a building, that you're not limiting what can happen, you're enabling what can happen.
Okay. So you've been to Kerala on 2 occasions earlier.
I've been to Kerala on about 7 occasions.
7 occasions. So how do you find the Kerala architecture here? Is it unique in any ways?
Well, it's nice to see that there's a younger generation of good, talented young architects who are looking at the way Kerala architecture used to work with its timber tradition, and they're looking at how buildings need to cross-ventilate and not have air conditioning, and they're designing good contemporary buildings. That gives me faith.
Oh, I see.
And then there's also a lot of unfortunate stuff which happens, which are usually aspirational people who've been to Dubai and they come back and they want to build something that has nothing to do with this place.
Oh, I see.
You know, which is another reality. But I'm pleased to see that young architects are applying intelligence in learning from the past to build a better future.
Oh, I see. What exactly are the challenges these architects face in India?
Belief in yourself, and belief that the grass is not greener somewhere else, that you have a unique situation here, you're free like birds, you can make the rules, and you need to realize that the answers to your problem is in the situation. The philosophy comes out of the situation. It doesn't come out of magazines from somewhere else.
I see. What is unique, can you say, about the Kerala architecture?
Well, it's tropical. So you expect it to respond to the fact that you need air movement, and you can design here like you can't design in a colder climate, because for your body to be comfortable, you need to have the movement of air.
Oh, I see.
So that's straight away, you see the lessons in the palaces, you see it in the older houses. But you know, there's this common idea that let's design something where we have to have air conditioning, because we didn't think about it being naturally ventilated, and that's the sad part of it.
Oh, I see. So can we adapt buildings according to seasons here in India?
Yes, you can. I mean, there isn't such a huge shift in temperature in Kerala between your winter and your summer season. There's a shift between the architecture of the coast and the architecture of the mountains, because the temperature is different. But you expect those two architectures to be different.
I see.
Yeah.
What are the constraints faced by the building people when you compare it to your place?
The biggest constraints are aspirations of people who come from somewhere else like Dubai or London, and they want to build a London house or a Dubai house in this situation in order to show how successful they are. Instead of them applying logic, they apply the nonsense of too much money. And then you get this incongruous building that could be anywhere, and it's anonymous because it's got nothing to do with its place. It's trying to be like somewhere else.
What are your take on contemporary architecture?
Well, contemporary architecture is a reality, but we've got past the modern movement. We're in a stage now where we need to get back to healing the damage we've done, because our cities are in a mess. And they can't continue to be in a mess because they're going to be getting bigger.
So how exactly, do you have any similarities between African architecture and Kerala architecture?
Really only in the places where it's very humid. In South Africa we have Durban, where the Indians are, where it's humidity.
Okay.
I live at 1,700 meters. We have very little humidity.
Oh, I see.
So, you know, it's climate is the driver of of that, and your building should reflect that.
Oh, I see.
And you know, people, new democracies all have this aspiration that I need to have this shiny glass. They don't think that the glass means air conditioning. Air conditioning means more electricity.
Yeah.
It becomes unsustainable because they're trying to look like a building in Chicago instead of being who they are. It's a little bit like getting into a relationship where the partner you're in a relationship with is so busy trying to be like someone else that you don't love them anymore.
Oh, I see. So being to Mathrubhumi's Literary Fest,
Sorry?
being to this Literary Fest, Mathrubhumi's Literary Fest here.
It's very nice to be with people who are not architects, that have another view of the world.
Oh, I see.
It's very interesting.
So how did you enjoy the fest, sir? This is the second day of the fest.
No, it's my first day.
Yeah.
I went to a wonderful discussion this morning, and last night I was with a lot of journalists,
Oh, I see.
and the more whiskey they had, the more interesting they became.
What do you have to say about the space constraint that the people are facing here? Metro cities are coming up, but there's no space at all.
Yeah, it's
So how exactly can you deal with the issue?
Because cities just get bigger and bigger instead of being made more compact.
Yeah.
I think I have to go now.
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
This is Sadhana along with our cameraman Praveen for Mathrubhumi.com.